Hey, good morning, KW. It's Monday morning and it's time for Monday Motivation. Sally Hayes here, your assistant team leader. And I don't have anyone popping on to join me in my Zoom today. So, and also I'm curious if you guys can hear me because I'm using this new microphone and my test run on Friday worked. So, um, guys, if you're on here and you can hear me, let me know, please. So I won't do this whole event without without someone hearing me. I don't have anybody popping on, so I'm not sure if the world is operating at a high level. So we're just going to go ahead and go, and this will be recorded, and hopefully you can, if you have, you can go back and watch it. So yes, today we are talking about the 7th level, and we are on pages 272 today in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book that we've been going through for quite some time. And you guys that have gone on the journey with me, hasn't it been great to be purposeful and time block it in your calendar to get through the book? Because often I have a lot of folks that will say, look, I don't want to read that, and I'm so busy. So we're almost done. And in the middle of May, we are tracking to end this and begin a new book on May the 15th. And that book's going to be The One Thing by Gary Keller. And you'll be able to get that book in our bookstore up front, our marketing store up front, in front of the front desk. You can order it on Keller Inc. You might check out McKay's used books. You may want to listen to it on Audible. So it is available. And go with us through the process. Hey, if you've been through this part of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent and you've been tracking with us every week, message me, let me know that you finished the book. I'd like to know. So let's get started. And in the page 272 is going to talk about the 7th level, and it's going to address some of the topics when you get to this part of your business on the business planning aspect of your team, model overview and big picture thinking, and retirement planning. So let's start with page 273. And when we began, I told you that we were going to talk about the 7-level concept, and we already spoke about working in your business and on your business. So at this level, you are going through some stages, and it's not one that you have to already predetermine that you're going to be 7th level, but as you grow, you're going to have a roadmap for mastering each level before you move to the next one. So a lot of times agents get started and they just want to go ahead and jump from getting right in to, they have a few leads coming in, they want to get a buyer's agent, and they don't do the process sequentially, and they don't put systems in place that they've mastered yet. So this is talking about mastery before going on to the next thing, right? So on page 273, you're going to see the original 7 levels as Gary Keller had gone through and had conversations with agents doing this amount of business and what they look like for best practices. Okay, this is a best practice chart. And, when I started Keller Williams, we had a lot of posters on the wall. You may have seen the red posters. This looks like a triangle on the poster that is on the wall. And it shows each one of them as they get larger. Gary likes models. So as I mentioned before, as Gary has gone through coaching and consulting with agents over the years, he has found that some of these structures have changed. The first several levels stayed the same. Oh, I've got Adrian popping on, so we'll know if you can hear me or not. And so the first several levels have stayed the same. And I have a printout because we know there's not a rewritten version of the book. There's a few things that have been tweaked along the way. And if you need a copy of this, I'd be glad to give it to you. And so this is level 1. Look how simple. It's just you. So all of you out there, everyone is on a level of the 7 levels. Everyone. Hello, Adrian. You can't hear me? I'm seeing you do this. Okay. Let me see if I unplug my mic. Does this help? Is this helpful, Adrian? It doesn't seem like it is. All right, I am sorry. You may want to go to just one. Now for me. Nope, she's gone. Okay, I didn't want this to be a train wreck this morning. However, it might be. I don't know. So this is you. And the second level is you with an admin, which is the same as page 273. And the third level is you, a lead admin, and a transaction coordinator. Now they do identify the roles here in the book on the third level. They don't give an assignment to what those admins are doing. It just says administrative and administrative, right? So in this model, it's like they're definitely a TC, I hear a lot of you say, or transactional coordinator. And you can do that by hiring someone, a third party that's running that type of a business, or you can have your own. So it does identify those two things. Now, there's a little bit of a difference between this new updated version versus the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And the fourth level on this page that you're looking at, you'll see the 2 administrative assistants, and then you'll see a buyer specialist pop in. Well, I've heard that Gary said if he was going to start from like an individual agent, this is where he would go. He would get a showing assistant, which we know is something that agents do use, as well as an inside and outside sales person, someone that's calling the database, right, and working that part of the business. So there's a little bit of a shift from hiring a buyer specialist and on that fourth level, right? And then I've got all of these. The fourth level has a part 2 that you don't see in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book. And this is what part 2 looks like for you building the 7th level. And then if you would like a copy of this, please let me know. I've got several copies, and I'll give you this updated version of the strategies here. And the strategies are meant for you to have a guideline for best practices. I also have a competitive model of, if you're curious what the salary structure or the compensation structure is for the different pieces, then we've got kind of a guideline for you to follow if you'd like. So feel free to check out. And that the main part of this section of the book says, first, master the level you are on. Don't try to go fast without getting systems models and mastering them before you move to the next thing, or you'll be a hot mess, like possibly this video is this morning. So at any rate, most agents go through their whole career in the pursuit of mastery or being their very best in real estate. And the 7th level is an extension of that mastery. So it says, long before you choose to shift from net $1 million to receive $1 million, you have an exceptional grasp of all the models. And remember, those are the economic budget, lead gen, and the organizational model. And then there's the expansion model after that. So it's that ELBO acronym for learning all the models. And they don't stop until they've mastered those. So they built the business that's productive and profitable without sitting in the driver's seat day in and day out when you hit that 7th level, right? You've got key hires doing that. And it talks about delegating. Most agents don't want to do that, or a lot of them don't. And so that's why there's very few 7-level teams or 7-level groups. But to get there, you have to focus on the 3 key hires. And we've mentioned these before, but folks that have hit the 7th level do this extremely well. They understand that the 3 hires, it's like the 3-foot rule, right? You're only 3 key hires away from being an MREA agent. And the 3-foot rule applies to this, where everything around you, is magnificent 3 feet around you. And that includes these 3 people. So when you hire capacity talent, the lead listing specialist, the marketing and administrative manager, who also moves up at the 7 level to become the business manager, they go along with you. And that lead buyer specialist, they understand your standards. They're also running mastery, and you only have to talk to them because they're taking care of the rest of the people that are surrounding you in your organization. So your meetings and your conversations and your accountability are only with 3 people because they are going out and doing the same thing. So that's why it's key to hire really good people around you. And that is that capacity talent who has the ability to stretch with you and grow. And they will see themselves staying with you for a long time. So a lot of times when I talk to agents that are getting in business and they want to be on a team, that's their magic thing, right? I want to be on a team. They only want to be on the team for a little bit of time while they get their feet wet and they get some training and they get some understanding, because then they're going to fly and go do it themselves, right? Well, that's not what someone in a high functioning team wants. They want someone who sees the big vision, that where that group is going, and that they understand that they're going to make good money and they're going to really thrive and grow with that organization. Because remember, it's not you, it's an entity. They see that as a positive, and they're committed to staying for the long game to work with that organization. Now, the rainmaker, the MREA agent at the 7th level, has to do a good job running that ship and portraying their value proposition, right? They have to do a good job doing that, or else no one's going to want to stay. So typically, they're going to try to get a 5-year commitment from those top 3 hires that they're going to be holding accountable. And that means their big goals and clear understanding of what it takes to achieve the things that you're looking for. And it will be like a recruiting magnet to your team once you have those in place. And it is a big vision of the future, and the challenge of getting there is going to attract the talent. Because if it's not really, talent is going to want a challenge, right? They're going to want a challenge to get that big vision going. So that's where you attract and get them in your business for the long haul. And someone running this business is going to definitely have to have weekly meetings with those 3 people. You're going to have to dedicate 2 hours a week to meet and talk about where you are in your goals and in holding people accountable and what's going on to meet the goals. And it's as anyone that is not capacity talent is going to deselect pretty quickly with that high accountability, because they're not going to like it, right? And they're not going to be the right fit for those 3 key hires for you. And that's okay. And you want to talk about your vision, your mission, your beliefs, your values, your goals. You're not going to talk about 80% stuff like the weeds. That's not going to happen in this meeting. And when you focus on that, that's when the real magic's going to happen with the hires around you and why they're going to want to stay. You're going to listen to their sound. They're going to be a sounding board for ideas, and you're going to grow. So hiring, training, consulting is important. We've talked about in the past. Don't be lulled into passivity of the magnificence of your first primary hires, right? You need to always stay in there and engaged with them. Don't just let that run on idle and let them take it and run with it. You're going to have to still stay engaged, and they're going to want you to. The big thought here is the way to build a great big business is to build a great small business first. Yes, build a small business first, and the big business will come. So the role and responsibility of the Millionaire Real Estate Agent in this place is just all accountability. And you're never released from that responsibility. You're always going to have to do it. And at the end of the day, the buck stops with you. And some things you're going to hold accountable is the leadership that's happening, the people in the organization, and capital. You're always going to watch your budget, because there are oftentimes embezzlement and things like that when you don't really keep a clear handle and reins going with your financial piece of your business. And you want to always track and hold others responsible for that, for sure. Inattention to those things will mean backsliding, loss of personnel, and probably loss of profitability for sure. So to get started, and you can start this at level 1, just you. What is your mission, vision, values, beliefs, and perspective of the business? We call it our MVVBP. And you probably know, hopefully you do. And if you don't, then you will know after today that the mission, vision, values, and perspective of Keller Williams is here, right? So the company's mission, and we can talk about what mission is. What is your purpose? Why are we in business? And that's the DNA code for your leaders. The MVVBP is to build careers worth having, business worth owning, lives worth living. And then we added legacies worth leaving, right? And experiences worth giving. So those are our big picture things. Those are what we want Careers worth having, right? That's what you're working on your business. Business is worth owning, lives worth living, that balance, right? And so our vision is to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their clients. And that vision is, what does the world look like during and after when we've achieved our mission statement that I just mentioned? What is the journey in the end that we have in mind? Our long, our vision, our short-term vision, and what will lead us to the long-term goal, our mission is to be the real estate company of choice for agents and their clients here. So what is your vision and your mission? Values are what's important to us. What do we value? What is the why behind our business, right? And our values here are God, family, business. So you can see that behind me, right? And then beliefs, those are our Y4C2Ts. And that's a big acronym, isn't it? Win, win or no deal, integrity, do the right thing. Those are our pillars and our core, our beliefs of how we should act when we work together, when we work with others out in the community. And you'll have that for your business as well. And our perspective, what is our current situation and what's the reality of where we are right now? Now, our company perspective added technology recently, and we're still a technology company. However, we are a training company as well, a training and technology company that provides a real estate platform for our agents, buyers, and sellers to prefer Keller Williams. And we think like a top producer, we act like a trainer and consultant, and we focus on all our activities on service, productivity, and profitability. So when I tell you that the office runs their business like the models in here, it is true. We have accountability, we have a budget, the agents bless that. We are always looking at acting like a mega millionaire real estate agent as an entity to model that for you guys. So you'll see on page 281, Gary loves these charts, right? So here is the MVVBP in a flow chart and kind of what that looks like, right? So the outer beliefs, the rules we follow are our Y4C2Ts. And then like our inner values, that's our outer beliefs. Our inner values are God, family, business. And then we're always looking at where we are, what's our perspective as we go, and then goals and actions and our vision to get to our mission. So you can take this flow chart and make your own MVVBP and establish that at level 1, where it's just you. But as you get started, you'll be able to articulate that and attract people that you have that part of your business. So the capital accountability, the people accountability, and the leadership accountability. Let's talk about the capital accountability. For you to survive and grow, you have to always be looking at your profit and loss, your P&L. Half of the battle is awareness. And you are going to want to reduce the opportunity for embezzlement. Unfortunately, there are people out there that do that. And I've heard tales when I've gone to different classes where we're talking about the career visioning approach and how we hire, train, and consult and keep, and all of those things. Talk about horror stories of people embezzling money, and it comes down to not having that accountability and inspecting things. First and foremost. So you're going to have to always talk about money, talk about return on investment, and hold your money accountable, but also hold people accountable that are helping you with the money part, right? So the path of the MREA is like Mount Everest. And we talked about Mount Everest at the beginning of the book. Only a small number have actually achieved Mount Everest. However, once someone did a plan and roadmapped it out, more people followed. So here's what you have, this book. And people have done it. They have reached this pinnacle of creating this big business. And you can too, because now that the route is clearly marked, and more high achievers will have the desire, means, and ability to make the journey themselves, just like Mount Everest. And once you take your business to the net $1 million level, and identify the key hires, then the mastery on the handful of issues to receive $1 million is just all you have to focus your attention on. It's a little small focus right there. So on page 285, the points to remember about receive $1 million, which is the section we are in, is the active versus passive income. Remember that. It's not purely passive. We do own the business. You have to participate in it. It'll require your involvement at some level. the opportunity is there to hit that 7th level. And that is going to just be through mastery and working through the toughness that can happen around all the challenges we talked to. There were 16 of them, right? Then the 3 key hires of the millionaire real estate business and what it takes to hold them accountable and function at a high level. And then your roles and responsibilities on holding accountable leadership, people, and capital is what will take you through earn a million, not a million, or receive a million. So next week, we are going to talk about focus. I know it sounds like we're already going into the one thing, but on the 30th, we're going to talk about the $64,000 question. We're going to talk about creating a personal plan and what your focus looks like, budgeting your time, busyness versus business. That's something we constantly talk about, time blocking, right? And then there's an acronym for TRY, T-R-Y. Join me next time and find out what that is, or read it ahead of time. And then we'll talk about the processes and accountability. And then we'll move into on the 8th, your energy. What is the energy plan? If you listened to Jim Lee at Coffee with Cappers the other week, he mentioned that everything that they follow the book, right? Jim Lee's team is a Millionaire Real Estate Agent team. And he talked about going and his whole team leaving, and then him just being individual agent again and rebuilding and all the lessons he learned. And he said, yes, and there's life balance that's important, and there's energy to do your business. And all of those things are in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book that they follow. So go back and watch that, because it was really, really good. And know that there are people following these models. And I congratulate you for going the journey of getting the information through the book and working on it. It's always, we're always working to be better. And that's what I love about Keller Williams, is that we have the conversations. We know that we're not perfect. And every day we try to be better. There is no try, by the way. I said that. So, I got to remember to be bold, right? Be bold said, you don't use the word try or but. So listen, guys, I know you're going to have a fabulous week. I really hope that this whole entire time you've been able to hear me. I'm sorry Adrienne could not. I appreciate her being so faithful of popping on and trying to get in here and be in the conversation. It really, I really get through faster when there's nobody in here talking to me, and I enjoy that interaction. So have a wonderful week. We've got a lot going on this week, and I hope you will come in and plug in and let us see your smiling, happy face, and have a wonderful Monday.